face like that, I can't be mad at you. An independent woman with an attitude. I can give you what you want, but you don't really need it, cause you never want for nothing. So it wouldn't be wrong to ask you to my place. If you tell me that you can't, then baby, it's okay.
Hi, and welcome to Crimes to Remember. My name is Shari Franklin, and today my co-host is, of course, the ever great producer, Neil Woods. Neil, say hi.
Hey, everybody. How are you?
All right, so this week we decided we're going to look at a case because they actually finally have a suspect that is actually charged now with 3 murders. In this case, which was over a decade ago, which is, he's had a good run. And he definitely is a type of predator that can compartmentalize himself as far as his crimes and his family life. So he's been married like 27 years. He has a daughter, and then he has a stepson. The stepson has special needs and whatnot. And his wife, daughter, and son, no one had any clue of his double life whatsoever. And his name is Rex Heuermann. Now, Rex Heuermann is actually the Long Island serial killer. So he's been charged with 3 murders, but of course more will come to light. They were able to tie him in as far as with DNA and so on and so forth. Now the crazy part is, even those 3 he's charged with, they're trying to tie in the 4th one because, her body was found along with them also, and it fits his MO. Rex Heuermann is actually 59 years old now, and he's the architect. And he has different properties, and they looked into stuff from properties ranging from New York to South Carolina to actually Las Vegas. Now, the amazing thing with this story is, and the reason why I wanted to do it, is because I was following this story I followed this story for years when it first came out. And the crazy thing was, the reason why the story was even brought to light at all was, back in 2010, it was this girl named Shannon Gilbert. And Shannon Gilbert had 3 sisters and her mom and whatnot. And now those are the Gilgo Beach killers. Now Shannon Gilbert, on the other hand, this is what actually sparked all this intensity in order to bring this to light. That's the part that is like so amazing. So on May 1st, 2010, Shannon Gilbert actually went missing. And then there was a 911 phone call that was made where she was stating, they're trying to kill me. Someone help me. They're trying to kill me. And she was an escort. So, and that's another thing. He targeted escorts because he would use escorts regularly. You know how they are. They figure, oh, no one should miss them, or I'll be able to pull it off, or so on and so forth. So she worked as an escort. So her driver took her to her client's house. And after 3 hours being dropped off, she ends up calling the police, panicking, saying she needs help. They're trying to kill me. She's in a house. She doesn't know where, though. Would someone help her? And she was like, can't you locate where I am? Can't you help me? And the conversation is going on for a while, and you hear a lot of inaudible voices. And her driver, Mike, comes in the house and is trying to convince her, let's get you out. And she's like, no, what are you going to do with me? Are you going to take me outside? Are you going to kill me? They're trying to kill me. Someone help me. So as the tape goes on, at the end, you hear that she wants to get away, and then you hear these blood-curdling screams and whatnot coming from, and of course, then the call ends. Now, the crazy part is she's reported missing. They don't really jump on it right away, but, time's going on, and they're looking into it, and they're not getting anything. So then, months later, probably I would think you would say around at least 7 months later or something, they start to look in the area of where she went missing. Now, of course, this is New York, and they look for her. This is Oak Beach. So they're looking for her. And the crazy thing is, when they go to look for her body, they find 4 bodies. Not hers at all. 4 bodies. So the first one was Maureen. And it was Maureen, Megan, Melissa, and Amber. Those are the ones they found. And Maureen Braided Barnes, she went missing in 2007. And she was 25 years old when she went missing. And then now, those girls, the 4 that were found on Gilgo Beach, that's why they were pinned Giglo 4. So whoever murdered them. So then, less than a year later, further down the line, as you can see, they're going to find 6 more bodies. Okay? Which blows your mind. Like, he was putting in a lot of work. He was. The sad part is, one of the girls, though, which was Amber, she had encountered him once before, but they played a prank on him when she was escorting and got him for his money. So when but he didn't realize it. He thought it was just an accident. The boyfriend caught him and he had to take off. So he contacted again, was like, hopefully he won't get caught. Let's go somewhere different. Unfortunately, when that time she hooked up with him, she was never saw again after that. But luckily the family saw the Chevy Avalanche truck that picked her up. And then this is another thing that breaks into him. So now they're looking for Shannon, and then they come across the Giglo 4. Then less than a year later, they end up coming across 6 more bodies. And then this is when they realize they have a serial killer, and they dubbed him, well, the Gilgo Beach murderer, but then they had dubbed him the Long Island serial killer because in all it ended up being 11 bodies. At some point, Shannon's body was found. Her body was found with no pants on, her pocketbook was gone, and she was face up, but it was in a puddle of water. So now they tried to state, when they did find Shannon, that it was probably an accident and that she tripped and drowned. In a puddle of water in the marsh, face up, that doesn't make any sense. They just really didn't want to be bothered with her crime because she was escort. Now, the crazy part at the time, though, was Dominic Forelli was the police chief at the time. So because this crime wasn't getting solved and these bodies came to light, they wanted Dominic Forelli to step down. So he gets demoted. The crazy part is then they put James Burke on the case. Now, James Burke, he was, horrible. Listen, he was so unhinged. And James Burke, he was the chief police, right? Now, Oak Beach. Now, at one point, James Burke got caught having sex in his patrol car. And the girl actually stole the gun out the patrol car. They sweep that under the rug. Then another time, someone tried to steal his car. So when the police chief caught him and the other police officers brought him into the station and then beat him mercifully, like horribly. He ended up pressing charges, and finally James Burke was convicted because he was very corrupt. When it came to the murders and the bodies, he didn't allow the FBI to be involved at all. So this is why this case ended up just falling by the wayside. They found all these bodies a while ago. Over a decade ago, 11 bodies, nothing happening. Right, because James Burke is filming prostitutes and fooling around and being corrupt, and no one cared. So because he beat that person that attempted to rob his truck, he actually was sentenced to 46 months in prison, luckily, which was good considering how crooked he was. Now, so they found the different bodies. So, of course, like I said, it was the Giglo 4. Then the victim, number 5, was Jessica Taylor. And her body, her torso was actually found, though, in 2003, though. But the heads are being found now. See, that's the difference, right? And another torso was found it was Valerie Mack. So what he did was, torsos were being found years earlier, and then the skulls were being found in 2010 and 11, which is crazy. So it's Jessica Taylor as the 5th victim. Then you have Victoria Mack. Then there was a toddler girl as the 7th victim. An Asian man as the 8th victim. Then they have a female skull for the 9th. And then just bones for the 10th victim, which was crazy. So December 2011 is when Shannon's body was found. So they tried to say it was an accident, so on and so forth. But they realized afterwards her hyoid bone had been broken. So most likely she was strangled. Right, but the cover-up and everything, that's why everything really fell to the wayside, which was ridiculous. So now they released, finally, her 911 phone call, in order for them to try to get details and figure out something and whatnot. Because she was in distress, and she called 911 for help and didn't get it. And not only that, had Shannon Gilbert not been reported missing, the Long Island serial killer would have never even been brought to their attention with these bodies, which was crazy. So the wild part was, because of the Chevy Avalanche And then they were doing pings off of burner phones that connected with these different escorts at the time. They were able to link it to him. So they had been watching him for like 3 to 4 months before they moved in on him to get him when they saw the truck and whatnot. Of course, he pleads he's innocent. They believe that he actually did commit a murder or two in the household when his family was away. And they didn't know. The wife filed for divorce immediately. She wasted she wasn't having it. All that standby, no, not at all. And he's a very menacing figure. He's like 6'4", 6'5", and 215 pounds. And he just was able to compartmentalize this and go on about his business as a businessman. He actually had dealings with Donald Trump, where he was paid for in the past, and he seemed to be okay and a decent family man. So, people were in awe because they just didn't realize it. So now, the crazy part is they're breaking their neck now because they're trying to tie all this stuff in, right? I think the sad part is in this, though, these girls, because they were escorts, he looked at it like it was no big deal. Like he could just do whatever he wanted. And these young girls, were looking to make money in order to take care of their kids. And the one girl, she spoke out about her mom who was murdered, and she was only 3 when her mom went missing. And she says to this day it still haunts her. The void, she can never get over that. But so those are the young ladies. And it's just sad. Like, you just think to yourself, like, these kids, like, it just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't. Like, he destroyed so many lives, and the fact that he was able to go this long with it, I think that's the part that's the worst. And Megan, actually, Waterman, is the one who went missing when her daughter was 3 years old, and she actually is speaking out now about it and whatnot. And yes, they ended up arresting him not that long ago in Massapequa Park, and they went through all the stuff. Now, the crazy thing is he actually had Google searches for the Long Island serial killer. Why wasn't he caught? He actually contacted the victims' families and would taunt them. Just a depraved person. He's just sick. It's just no other way to put it. And the sad part is, I fear, though, that they're going to come across. My thing is this: if he's tied into Vegas and South Carolina and New York, what other bodies could they be? There could be something in South Carolina. That's what I'm saying. He was planning on retiring there. That's why he had these different properties, yeah? And that's how he was able to maneuver like that.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much lay out how serial killers have gotten away with it so much. I mean, police being corrupt or not paying attention, not thinking they want it. A lot of times, do you think, like, a lot of times police departments just don't even want there to be a serial killer? Like, they're like, never, right? There's no way, come on.
My thing is, I think, this is the thing. Back in the day, and this is why we have so many serial killers to look back on now, because we didn't have, like, the DNA presence now, and then with the pinging the cell towers so exactly and precisely, it makes a big difference. So now I feel like if we come across a serial killer now, I feel like the police department looks at it like, where did we fail? They look at it like, we don't want to be a serial killer, or don't jump to conclusions, because then as a society, the first thing I'm going to think is, why was he able to get away with it so long? That's my whole thing. And secondly, why did you drop the ball when it came to Shannon's case? Once they reported her missing, they didn't really make any attempt. Like, they went out there searching like 7 months later and came across those bodies. So it's not like she went missing. They're like, oh, let's get on board with it. No, they just didn't care. And I feel like they don't care because these women are escorts. Right. So they look at them like, what difference does it make? Just like the same people that said when it came to R. Kelly, abusing or, being a predator, they were like, how did he get away with it so long? And a lot of people said, if it was white women, it would have never happened. Exactly.
Right. It's just that it feels like it's that situation too many times. I mean, how early? So you were saying that they were onto him. So but they found the bodies much later, right, because they botched it anyway.
Right, 2010, right. So they found a torso, chief. But you're not knowing what the torso is going to.
Sure.
So those years earlier. So those torsos are just sitting around. But come 2010, when she was reported missing, then they're like, whoa, we found 4 bodies. Then and that's why they were called, dubbed the Giglo 4.
Right.
For the 4 Gilgo Beach murders. Then, less than a year later, though, now they're coming across 6 more. And they got Shannon, so it's like 11 bodies.
But at that point,
but they're trying to only tie a 10 into them, though. So go ahead.
Well, right. No, but I guess my question is in the timeline, clearing it, just clarifying it, is they find the 4, but they're not onto him at that. Like, they're not on to.
No. That was 2010. No, right. 2010. No. So what happened was, like I stated, the thing was, when she went missing, that's when those bodies were even discovered. So we had no clue that we were on a serial killer. Right.
Okay.
2002, we had no clue of that.
Sorry.
So it was only dubbed the Giglo 4 murders.
Right.
Then they turn around and they're finding 6 more bodies. They're finding Shannon. And you're like, wait a minute. Right. So he's pegged with 10. They're not trying to include Shannon with it, but I hear you.
Yeah, it's a dumping ground at that point.
So he's pegged with 10, but that's 2010, remember?
Right.
So then they dropped the ball. James Burke is in there. He doesn't do anything with the case. That's it. These bodies have just been found 2010. Decade later, nothing has been done. Right. So then finally, when James Burke is arrested and they get rid of him, of course, they bring in a new person, which is Rodney Harrison. Rodney Harrison is the commissioner for Suffolk County now, currently. Gotcha. So that's how come the 911 call is finally being released. But now they're finally doing something about it. So this is the part that is upsetting to you. Over a decade, and now you decide you want to really look into the case? So this is the only reason why he's being brought to the attention. Because they were looking at him like 3 to 4 months ago.
And yeah, I mean, not like, if the color of their skin obviously matters. I mean, it matters to the fact that their crimes are ignored to that point. But, these are all, I mean, you got an Asian unidentified male.
Yep.
And then a lot of, possibly white people in there, but at the same time, they just don't care because they're escorts. They're just.
Every girl was under 5 feet.
Right.
Every person was under 5 feet, which is crazy. Now, the task force that formed wasn't until 2022, which is crazy. So the task force formed in order to catch the Long Island serial killer. Right. And 6 weeks later, Rex Heuermann was a suspect.
Okay, yeah.
And then, 6 weeks later, and then they actually were surveilling him for 3 to 4 months. Right. So now we were able to peg him and tie him into the 3. So he's actually convicted of the 3 currently. So now they're working on, but they, like they said, because of the pinging off of different things, they're going to be able to tie him in other stuff. And I know they're definitely going to be able to tie him in other things, but I think the sad part is, it's just for him to get away with it this long. So don't get me wrong, we'll probably come back and touch base on him to find out, what he ends up being convicted with. My curiosity is he going to be, are there going to be more bodies found? Checking
vacation spots, checking anywhere he's been, you know what I mean? Really.
My thing is this, if you're able to have a marriage for 27 years and then commit these murders and compartmentalize like that, there's no way you're going to tell me this is it, that's it. Right. For all the time that he had.
Right.
A torso back in 2003, his span is crazy.
Yeah.
And, just because we're like, 2010 and 11, we found the bodies. Are you sure there's nothing in 2013 somewhere else? That's what I'm saying. Like you said, vacation spot somewhere else. Are we going to find 3 or 4 more bodies in a row? So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I feel like there will definitely probably be a part 2 because with him, he's a shady character. And I just don't see how he got away with it so long. Another thing is because I paid attention, I studied, and I followed Shannon Gilbert's case. And the reason why I followed Shannon Gilbert's case was, and this is just going to be a quick backstory of her. And then, hopefully, unfortunately, if there's a part 2, we can touch upon a lot more on him. But Shannon Gilbert, she got into escorting. I think the sad part with her was, though, she was one of the 4 girls. And when she was younger, her mother actually put her in foster care as a young child. And her and her sisters all went to the same school. But she was in foster care, and the 3 daughters stayed with the mom. Mm-hmm. And the mom answer was, well, she was just difficult and rambunctious, so I didn't want to deal with it. Yeah. But can you imagine how a child feels when you keep 3 children, but then you put one in foster care as if she doesn't matter? Yeah. And even when she would try to come over the house, Shannon would try to come over, they take her right back to the foster care and leave her because she didn't want her there, and it was horrible. And, doing the escort thing, it's sad that she got into that lifestyle. But then what added insult to injury is she goes missing in 2010. And I think this family just, I don't know, it's just, to me, their family was just doomed. her sister had a really hard time dealing with it. Sarah had a hard time dealing with it. And they actually, Shannon was diagnosed with bipolar disorder at the age of 12. And then the sister, Sarah, was not diagnosed until years and years later as an adult, as a schizophrenic. And the sad part is, Sarah was depressed and, couldn't get over it. Unfortunately, though, Sarah killed her mother, which is Shannon's mother, all their mothers. She killed her mother July 23rd, 2016.
Wow.
She actually ended up stabbing her 227 times and beating her with a fire extinguisher. Her mother was coming to try and take her child from her because her mother, Marie Gilbert, wanted her grandbaby in her care, and she didn't agree with that. And then Sarah lashed out, and she actually murdered her. So the two sisters that are left are Shari and Stevie, and and Shari has a rough time. She's lost her mom, and Sarah's in a mental facility, and Shannon Gilbert's case has still never been solved, and it's been sad. Yep. These sisters have just been through so much, and Marie Gilbert, she was 52 at the time when she was murdered. And it's just sad to see the things they went through. It's just sad. But like I said, the case is definitely still developing. So, I definitely want to see if there are going to be more bodies discovered or if other things are going to come to light, because it's just crazy. And it's just sad that Suffolk County dropped the ball on this and let this case go so long. Because the sad part would be, it's people that waited all these years for closure and to find something out. And unfortunately, Shannon's mom is not going to be around to see any type of closure or whatever because she was murdered. And Sarah's still in a mental facility, so
yeah, this is
rough.
the sister up on the screen, right?
Yes.
Yeah, this is the sister being squirted out after, wow, I can't believe, 2016, and then.
Isn't that crazy? And then they went through that in 2010. So, my heart goes out for that family. I've always felt bad for them. And Shari Gilbert has been very strong and has stood strong. Stevie Gilbert has stayed off the radar. Not surprised. But unfortunately, Sarah Gilbert, she's still in a mental facility.
Wow. It's a hard one. That's a tough one.
It is. But I know people are definitely happy that he's off the streets because someone like that is just dangerous. He's just crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
for him to go so long, I feel like he felt he was untouchable.
Yeah, he's got a Jerry Brutus kind of vibe. I mean, it's if any of these guys, like guys who look like this, guys who look like that, it's again, if you don't see what we're seeing, it's okay. Join us on YouTube at any point. You can come on to the Crimes to Remember podcast on YouTube. But if you ever hear a guy who looks like this say that he likes hiking.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, he doesn't.
Right.
He doesn't. He's a big chubs.
Right.
And he doesn't actually like to hike. He likes
if he liked to hike, he would have been in
shape.
right. He would have been in shape already by now.
Yeah. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's all of them. They're all out there, people. They're all out there. You got to watch for them. This is crazy.
He's sickening. But he definitely flew under the radar. So he definitely was slick and tried to fly under the radar.
Okay. Wow. Another good one. I didn't even know about the Long Island. I mean, I had heard of it long, but I hadn't heard about this one. So thank you. That's a good one. What do you think you're gonna do next? Who do you think's gonna come up?
You know what? Something else piqued my interest because someone did it. So I'm trying to think if I want to look into another serial killer. If I want to look into a crime that might not have been solved, and then see what's going on with that, or then the development stages. Okay. So I'm curious, because you realize that one was just done like that, though. It was a podcast that just had a cold case, and that cold case from the podcast got solved.
Right. Serial and all those kinds of crazy ones out there.
So that makes you want to be newsy. My whole thing is, though, like at the end of the day, I always wanted to be a criminal profiler regardless. Right. Anyway, so. That's what my interest is in forensic psychology.
Okay, so we might go with an unsolved.
I might try something different, but I definitely want to.
Comedian Sherry Franklin cracks the case.
No, I do. I want to delve into different things though, because it's just so many cases out here, and I feel like, especially with these detectives, some of these detectives are phenomenal because in your lifetime you'll definitely I swear I've always heard this with different officers or detectives that I've encountered. They all have one case that is stuck with them. Right. Always. It's always been one case. They're like, nope, haven't been able to get over it. Nope, we didn't solve it. Or, the greatest feeling is I solved it and I retired. Yeah, so
In
it's
movies,
a big deal.
it's hilarious. You know, someone
Right.
will be like, all right, this isn't like Jonestown. And you're like, oh no, I guess we're about to learn about Jonestown. Like the Jonestown? Like, no, a different one. Like, it's like, you know, they always try to introduce it.
Right, basically.
It's always great.
But yeah, I just feel like, yeah, it's just so much stuff out here. So I don't know. I want to try and touch on something different. I want to try and touch on something different.
like it.
So we got to brainstorm and see what we're going to come up with.
Well, let's do Irk My Soul.
Yes.
Nice.
So now, what, yours are usually basic. But anywho, yours aren't real irk your soul things.
My
You
mouth
don't-
is
you
agape.
don't-
I just want people at home to know my mouth is agape.
Right. You
How
don't
dare
get
you.
irked. You're just happy all the time. Say it.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
just happy all the
Super,
time.
super pumped all the time, guys. Just a glowing individual. Deity, sometimes. That's how good I feel. But come on, Shari. Come on, hit me. What you got? Let's go. I'll do
What?
mine after you. Because you always throw me up first. You're going first.
I
this time.
I do. What irked my soul? It probably just be easier to tell you what didn't irk my soul this week, and then basically, everything. Okay, first of all, the heat.
Right.
All right,
Sure.
the heat, the people driving. Seriously, people. Like, I just don't understand it. Between the cutting people off, the running the red lights, I understand why this road rage is going on. I really do. I really do. Like, and I'm not saying road rage is a good thing. I'm just saying you're asking to get got. That's all. I'm just saying. Some of these drivers right now, they're asking to get got. And I want them to. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, it's a headache. Like, driving is a headache. I feel like it's traffic all the time. Like, there's no good time of the day. You're like, oh, okay, it's traffic. Where the hell are you people going right now?
Yeah.
Like, it's annoying. And, I would love a vacation. That's what I would like. I would like a vacation. It's not going to happen. I've resigned myself to that. The only vacation I would get is if I probably killed myself and then be
nice.
gone. And then, yeah, so, I don't know. They say you're going to end up in hell, so I don't know. But, I'd vacation there just to see what it's hitting for right now.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
Might be cooler.
Yeah, basically. So, it's still the same heat thing, so I'm ready for it already. No, I don't know. I just feel like I want a break. It's just been so much going on. My schedule's been crazy, and I don't know. It's just
Okay.
it's just been a lot. Like I felt like I've just been overwhelmed recently. I want to get to a point where I'm not overwhelmed.
Yeah. I feel you on that.
Overwhelmed. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, my irk my soul is like traffic as well, so don't even worry about it. I feel you. I feel you on the traffic thing.
It's a headache, and then you have I love my friends to death, but some of them irk your soul when they breathe,
Right.
talk. I know it's a lot.
Just exists.
Yeah,
in
basically,
general,
right?
they're
Yeah,
irking
basically,
your
because
soul.
it's just some people. They just
Who hurt
They
you?
just
Who hurt you, baby girl?
I would put on blast who irk me. I'm trying to be nice though.
We should come up. You got to start doing. Listen to me. The no name thing is understandable, but we can do. I want you to do some fun nicknames. That's what I think we should start doing. For some
that's a
people in
good
the lives
idea.
who they maybe they don't even know. It's hard to do a nickname where they don't even know who they are. But
Because remember
you
the
know,
SpongeBob we had?
right?
before?
I remember SpongeBob.
SpongeBob,
Yeah, of course.
SpongeBob. Stacking crab patties.
Yeah.
Daddy. Anyway, okay. Only I'm that petty.
Yes.
So, yeah, couldn't resist. Yeah, I'm trying to think of,
all good.
because I can come up with a couple names. I don't know how, but yeah, I'm about to say, look, you look at me, you'll be like, cut, that was rude. You're like, we should have rehearsed that. No, we shouldn't have. Yeah, because I've got names for different people, though. This is the thing, right, with a strawberry shortcake.
Mm-hmm.
What I want to understand is, I don't ask for a lot for some people.
Right.
I just need you to have common sense. Like when I ask you simple things, and you're like, so what did you want to know? Okay, I asked you what was needed. What do you mean what was needed? Is it anything you want me to look for? What is it that you need? And then you're asking me do I want you to look? Okay, you know what? Yeah, see, I'm allergic to stupidity. Seriously. And that's what irks my soul. But I realize that common sense isn't common. And I can't deal. I'm not okay with that.
I feel you.
Yeah, I'm not okay with that. So, yeah, just, dealing with people that are like sandwiches short of a picnic basket. Yeah, it's just.
I mean, the common sense thing plays into the traffic. Let me ask you this. Is it acceptable for me to be upset when the driver in front of me is not using common sense and is mad at me for the fact that they didn't use turn signals, came to a stop in the middle of the street in front of an open parking spot, sat there for 10 seconds, then put on their hazards. Did not plan on to park. They're just in the street now.
Right.
But yet I am somehow made out to be the bad guy. I don't understand. When I'm like, common sense would tell you to get the fuck out of the way.
No, see, that's not how this That's not how this works. And let me explain it to you.
Please, thank you.
The reason why, and this is you should realize, Rex Heuermann is like, me? You feel I did this? I would never.
What?
All right, my DNA, I might have went out with her once, maybe. Maybe we shook hands. Okay. I'm supposed to be stupid. All right, I hear you. Right. What I don't want you to do is, I don't want you to piss on my leg and then tell me it's raining. That's what I don't want you to do. That being said, at the end of the day, it's people out here that will say something and look at you and be like, did I say something wrong? You look at them like, oh, you really are dumb as shit. Okay, I hear you. Right. Just like when
smug
people
looks they get.
Right. Or when they want to prepare you to be like this. Listen, no disrespect. Go ahead, bitch. You're about to disrespect me.
Yeah.
No homo. I think this is going to get real gay on me, but go ahead.
Right.
Anyway, right. It's always something. Can I ask you something personal?
Qualifiers.
You don't give a shit because you're about to ask it anyway. Like,
Right.
it's just, or like when people call.
Do you say
hey,
no?
you sleep?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm asleep. So let me tell you what happened. Bitch! I said,
Yeah.
like, you said, are you sleep? I said, yes. Did you think that was like, cue up your story? I don't give a
Are
shit.
you worried about losing these? Because it feels like you're the person that would be like, click, like just hang up. Be like, are you asleep? Click. Like I would just hang up. Is it a thing of like you want them to get better? Like these friends are out there, they're being little silly dum dums.
Some people you hold on to,
Right.
And then some people you have to cut off.
We got to cut.
Right. Like recently, I gave one of my friends a homework assignment because it's a project I want them to complete.
Cool.
I don't think they're going to complete the project.
Of course.
Which I'm hoping because I have goals set for them, ambitions. Like, I have high expectations for them.
Right.
But I'm a realistic person, I got to be honest with myself. Yeah. And they're smart. It's not like they're dumb. They're very intelligent. I want to give credit when credit's due.
Right.
But when I give you a homework assignment and I give you a project and you say, yes, I understand. And then I realize like, maybe 2 weeks, 4 weeks, project's not going to be done.
Right.
You can be cut because not much you got to do. Just need you to pull it off. You can't pull it off? That's fine. I can give someone else the project. They can pull it off. Listen, no matter what, if I need a project done, it's going to get done. You just won't be on the job anymore, and I just assign it to someone else. It's not rocket science with me. Like, but I value my friends. I appreciate them. Some of them you do have to cut. I mean, you have to be realistic.
Yeah.
Right.
I just don't have time. It's if I'm impatient with some people, like with people in front of me, I feel bad like that I'm impatient with them. And I try to pull back. I had a buddy just recently. So like, he helps, we've, have to go early to set up a show, right? Comedy show, at, Wissahickon, brewing company in Philly. And it's something that I didn't need to fire off of, but I was just like, dude, I was just like other human being. Why are you asking me like I'm your boss who's dragging you to work? Like he was just like, what time do you want me to get there? I was like, well, both of us are show running this. In my head. So I'm like, okay, well, I was like, how long have we been doing this? This is what I said to him. I was like, how long have we been doing this? I said, hey, what time do you want to get there? Like, what are you talking about? Like, if the show starts, if doors open at 8:30, you can come and help me set up tables and do, and help. Get there an hour early. I'm getting there an hour early before that to do that. Like, get there as early as you can. And I hate when like people just have to, he's like, well, I can't read your mind. I'm like, motherfucker, how many shows have we done together? Are you in or are you out? Like,
right. It's like simple things. Even with working with people, you're like, well, what time you come in? I guess. Then they're like, it's raining. I can get in at 10. Yeah. Wow, really? All right, thanks. Yeah. Glad for your ambition. Yeah. This is my thing. I don't expect everyone to have my back.
Right.
But I mean, I don't ask for a lot. It's just that some people I feel like you can love them all you want and they're in your space. You motherfuckers aren't helping me move anything. Y'all not helping me move mountains out this bitch. Right. It's just not working.
Exactly. No, I feel you on that. It's one of those things where you start to get the sense that you need to operate with people. And my uncle's good at this. Like you kind of get that person, and then you need to you actualize them to yourself. So you wouldn't ask maybe a friend who maybe isn't going to hit that project anymore, and they might ask like, "What's going on?" Well, you didn't hit the project the first time. I don't know why I'm giving you a sec. Like, it's just like, to be honest with you, that kind of thing. And it's just like, to your point, like I'm a very driven person. So when someone is like working with me, sometimes they kind of, they want to work at their own pace. I'm like, okay, yeah.
Right. And the thing lazy, but the thing is, I don't need people to be, but damn, bitch, I don't want you to be happy being broke. Like, this is what I can't do. Like, that irks my soul. Like, I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying you have to change the world,
right.
But damn, like, have something to show. Like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
Like, and you get tired of people with handouts. Oh, can you get this? Or you got, and I don't have anything.
Right.
What the heck?
I just became homeless today too. I know, crazy.
You know what?
I know, nuts. I actually just got robbed, mugged, stabbed.
Really?
And I might have to go to the hospital. I don't have any money, so.
This is the project I'm going to do. The project I'm going to do is I'm going to auction myself off.
Ooh.
And yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to auction myself
like
off.
It.
And then, we're going to, and I'm going to see who is going to sponsor me. And just, I don't know, throw me in a nice place, preferably a condo with a balcony. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah.
I think we should get
See if I get some sponsorship.
dollars with your face on them and then put people in those little clear cages and make them see whoever gets the most dollars with your face on, then they get to keep you.
Okay. All right.
Or, well, I mean, work with your project or sponsor you. I apologize.
Right. He said,
I feel like keep you was kind of trivial. But yeah, they get to work
Danny
with you.
I would have been proud of you for saying
he
that.
Would have.
Yeah, he would have been like, you're learning, got to keep these tricks.
Denny's standing out front. Come on, step right up. Like, can we get this beautiful, fine young lady? Like, he's just carnival barking for you. She's like, you can put her in any dress you'd like. That's not true. You're like, no, don't say that. No, it's professional. I like that.
And she comes with 2 pairs of extra tights, just like Barbie. You're like, what?
You go.
Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness, that's hysterical. I think between, the heat and the driving and the road rage and these fools not know how to drive and then people acting like you're dumb and then they want to piss on your leg and tell you it's raining. Like, it just people never cease to amaze me. No matter what, at the end of the day, people can do whatever they want to do. Because I tell people all the time, what you eat doesn't make me shit. But what we're not going to do is I'm not going to play games with you. It's just some people I just can't feed into. So this is my new motto. And then there's another thing I don't think people understand. When I text and be like, have a good night, now, I mean that, listen, 50% is one or the other. I text you, I don't text you, Neil, have a good night. And if I did, you would probably be like, what, why, bitch? Like, I'm okay. You would have been like, why are you texting me? Right.
If I
text you, had a good night, then right, you were like, this, she wants it.
What's going on?
So I text you, have a good night. I probably mean have a good night. If I text somebody else, have a good night, that means try me again tomorrow. But now if I text have a good night and it's 2 p.m., don't call me. No, that's it. I had text you, have a good night.
Yeah.
That's what that means. That. Try me tomorrow. I think people don't understand. So, let me help you. Right. So, okay.
Text me 9 a.m. I'm going to say good night to you.
Right. Because someone hit me and was like, what you mean have a good night? It's 2 p.m. And my text back is, you slower the fuck than I thought.
Yeah,
so,
really.
When I text have a good night, I don't care what time that is. Try me again the next day because we're just not on the same page. That's why I text have a good night. Because you must think I'm boo-boo the fool.
In there. The nail sounds are just making it for all the people at home. Do it. Keep doing it.
Basically. So this is another thing. When I text, have a good weekend on Friday. Try me the fuck on Monday. That's what that means. That means you're done for the weekend. I'm good. I'm all right on you. I'll pass.
Every dude out there is just like, the hairs on their neck just stood up because that's like every time a woman is upset. Just, I said, listen, look at me. Like, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, she's like I'm boo-boo the fool. Like, oh, guess what? I'm going to make time for you tomorrow. These nuts tomorrow. I'm good. You don't need to make time for anything. I'm good. I'll pass. Like, I'm good. I'm good. You don't have to check for me. I'm good. Yeah, so, right. Now that we know, have a good night. Try me next day.
Yeah.
Have a good weekend, whether it's Friday, Saturday. That means try me Monday.
Right.
I'm not, I don't give a fuck if you have a good weekend or not. It means you rub me the wrong way. You keep playing games, and you're irking my soul. And then some people know who they are. Boot it. Keep playing with me. Get your feelings hurt.
Yeah. I love it.
What shows do you have coming up soon?
Oh, yeah. Let's do a little promotion. I've got, you can check us out over at droptank.com. You can get all the dates and details for our shows over there at droptank.com/events. But yeah, we've got shows coming up right now, depending on when you're hearing this. We have shows every second and fourth Friday at Myers Brewing Company. We have a show once a month at Wissahickon Brewing Company as well, and a bunch of other shows in there as well. So just check them all out. They're, Philly, New Jersey, they're all over the place. So go give us a listen. And then check out all the other podcasts on the network. It's not just Crimes to Remember, a great podcast, obviously, but you can check out all the other podcasts, my podcast, and lots of other stuff going on there over at drop10.com. Thank you, Shari.
You're welcome anytime. I'm glad everyone tuned in as always. We're definitely going to keep bringing you all these different crimes to remember. I appreciate everyone who has subscribed, liked, or commented on my videos. I appreciate everyone who follows me. You can also check me out on Instagram, and I'm going to do better to post more on Instagram. I'm on Instagram at Comedian Shari, Facebook Franklin, and on to Crimes to Remember podcast. Subscribe, like, comment, and please let us know what you want to hear next. And if you want to be a guest, please message me and let me know. We always love bringing on people who want to have opinions and let us know what they think about our Crimes to Remember show. Thanks so much, and everybody have a great night.
This has been Crimes to Remember with comedian Shari. Subscribe on YouTube at Crimes to Remember, rate and review us on your favorite audio platform, and follow us on Instagram at comedian Shari.
How you doing? This is Neil Wood from the Cult of Us podcast, speaking on behalf of Drop 10 Media Network, the network you're currently listening to. Make sure to check out all the other podcasts on the network. You can go to drop10.com to check them all out. Make sure to like, subscribe on everything that you see Drop 10 on. We appreciate it. Go to drop10.com now.
This has been a Drop 10 Media Production.